Trilly on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself.
And we are live. Welcome back to Masculine Moguls. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And thank you guys again for tuning into another episode. You guys have been amazing. You guys always supporting the podcast, always helping your boy out, the TikToks, you name it, the pins. If you guys want to support the podcast too, go pick yourself a pin. Everything's linked in the description. Again, I want to thank you guys. If you have time, please leave us a 5-star rating, a review on Apple Podcasts, wherever you can. It truly does help out the podcast. That way, I can get the feedback and see where you guys are coming from. So anyways, I want to thank you guys again for always supporting your boy. Like I said, you guys always support me. You guys always got my back. And you guys love the content that I'm putting out. And a lot of you guys said it. You guys love my personality. So, I'm one of a kind. That's why I'm it'd be kind of hard to replicate me. So thank you guys again. But we're going to get into the episode. Obviously, you can see the name of it. We're going to be I'm going to focus on two different things today, just because I always get entrepreneur questions, what do you do questions, and stuff like that. So I'm going to be straight up blunt with you guys. I'm going to be straight up honest. And, you guys know that I do that a lot. No 9-to-5 is going to make you wealthy. Of course, there's the ones super high end, if you're a CEO, but even then, you're not a regular 9-to-5. So you guys have to think about that. A 9-to-5 will not make you rich, will not make you wealthy, So you have to figure out what you're going to do, create a product. Again, yes, you can become wealthy, climbing all sorts of ladders, but those jobs are very few and not very many. So you also have to think of that, because I know people are going to be like, oh, you can work a 9-to-5 and become what? Most of the time you can't unless you know the right people, study for the right position and stuff like that. So, but some of these doctors and stuff, they have their own practice. So technically, yeah, they're a doctor, but they're also an entrepreneur. So think about that. Okay, so you have to solve problems, most importantly. Solving problems, making life easier for people is going to go a long way. Easier by example is if you can figure out, how especially parties right now, so many decoration party businesses are starting because the family doesn't want to take the time and do all the decorating and stuff like that. They'd rather get ready, go to the party, and have fun. They'd rather pay somebody to decorate the party for them, So that's where party planners come in and stuff like that. So if you're great at decorating, that's a business that you can start. Trust me, there's plenty of parties out there that you can go to and get into. It's all about getting started and how to get started. That's why I have multiple things going on. I know the whole 360 booth and the mirror booths aren't super popular here. So I wanted to bring them here, put it in everybody's face. Now if you try to come with a similar, you're gonna have to one up me to be you know what I mean. I was I'm gonna bring the production value top notch. It's funny because I was a little bummed out because I did an event this past weekend and my backdrop didn't fit because the ceiling has to be over 10 feet. It has to be about 10 feet. If it's 10 feet, we can make it work. But you know how normal ceilings are probably around 8 feet. And so the backdrop didn't fit. It wasn't going to fit at all. Then there's no reason to build it. I knew for a fact it wasn't going to fit. So that's why I say that it wasn't going to fit. And so it sucks because the backdrop makes it look even cooler, adds that production value and stuff like that. But this is all about solving problems. It's not even about solving my 360 booth problem. And finding solutions, making life easier for people. And especially right now, if you work at a 9-to-5, right? That's why I said 9-to-5 won't make you wealthy, but use a 9-to-5 as a means to an end. Does that make sense? Have that 9-to-5, focus on your side hustle, a side business until that gets big enough to the point where guess what? Now I got to leave. You don't start a business right away and, jump in 100%. Unless you want to take that risk, that's going to be a wild ride for you. But just start something. If I'm coughing, these allergies won't go away. I don't know what the heck is going on. But you have to solve some sort of problem, make somebody's life easier. So always think of that. Or if you can create a product, you've seen these entrepreneurs, if you create a product and if you can sell 1,000 of those products, price it accurately, you know what I mean? You can make if you want to make $1 million, figure out what kind of product or whatever service you can offer that a bunch of people are going to buy, and it's going to make you $1 million, So start at the $1 million and, work backwards, meaning like find out you want $1 million. What are the options you can have? Create a $10 product, $20 product, and so on and so forth, and then finally, okay, I'm going to do this type of product. Now it goes into how I'm going to make it, where I'm going to make it, how much it's going to cost me. So it's a little bit of work, but this is what I mean. Like, there's no excuses. I hate it when people are like, oh, I'm going to research into it. Okay, but what are you going to, like, people giving me that excuse of I'm going to research for something is just an excuse to me. Like, to be honest, I even tell it to their face. I'm like, you're probably not going to do it. Because it's true. People will say, oh, I'm going to look in. Have you ever heard that? I'm going to look into it. I need to do my research, so on and so forth. And I'm just like, all right, here we go again. Like, and you're not going to do the research. Because honestly, doing research for something, like figuring out where you need to start, is only going to take about 2-3 hours, depending on what you need to do. And then from there is like, what's the next step that I need to make? What's the next step? Take everything step by step. Don't be like, all right, I want to have a successful business. And that's it. And that's why a lot of these businesses don't succeed, because you want like a successful business off the top without putting in that middle work. Okay. Know what you want to do, focus on the middle work, and then you'll eventually get there. So, and especially if you're single right now, this is a perfect time to invest into yourself, focus on yourself. And this is what I mean, like focus on yourself. If you're going through a breakup, focus on you. Keep your mind distracted. Now that you're not in a relationship, because relationships, don't get me wrong, they take time. You have to invest time into somebody, going on dates, going here, vacation here, and so on and so forth. And if you have kids, then all of a sudden your goals and dreams are on the back burner now. You're focusing more on the relationship and doing that. But now if you're single or even in a relationship, you can still do something. You just got to put in that time. But it helps more if you're single, because now you have more time to focus on you. And trust me, when you're growing and glowing, girl, guys are going to go crazy over that. They're like, why is she so happy? Why is she doing so great? I want to be part of that. I want her, So that's why I said, like, focus on you. Do you. Now that you have time, especially if you're single, focus on you. Now that you have the time to start a side hustle, because now you don't have to invest your time into a relationship. You can invest that time into something like an asset that's going to make you money. Even if you're in a relationship right now and you want to follow your goals, your partner should support you. If you had some kids and now you want to focus on you, because sometimes, some people put their goals and dreams on the back burner because they had kids, got into a relationship. Life happens. Trust me, I get it. I understand. But the more you make that excuse saying that life happens, I'm too tired, anything like that. Like today I went to go run. I've been listening to David Goggins' book, and it's funny how we try to bargain with ourselves, like why not to do something, meaning like, oh, I'm a little too tired today, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'm overworked today, I'm totally gonna, okay, like the perfect time is never gonna come. I just want you to know that the perfect time will never come. There won't be a time and be like, you know what, like everything aligned perfectly. I think right now is the time that, I should start. No, that's not gonna happen. You've seen these people like out of nowhere, like start a company or something with barely any funding, had a crazy idea to make a product out of nowhere, but they could have been like, oh, it's not the perfect time right now, I'm not going to create it. And then not create it, or it's not the perfect time to start a business. I only have $500 to start. Nah, I'm going to wait till I get 1,000 and it's not going to happen, we always make excuses. We always bargain with ourselves not to do something. And he meant it when he was running too. Like that's what really motivated me today too, is we want to use every excuse not to do something when something is sucking. Meaning like when it's running, oh, it's too hot today. Maybe I'm going to take it easy. I don't want to dehydrate. I'm a little, my knee hurts a little bit, I'm going to take today off. I worked pretty hard. We're making all these, we're bargaining with ourselves to give us the excuse to not do something, and there's never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be a perfect, like the stars are not going to align perfectly and it's not going to work out like that. It's more about, if you want to do it, get out there and make the shit happen. That's basically it. Like get out there, make the shit happen. Okay. And another topic that I wanted to talk about is obviously the mental health. Okay. The reason I wanted to talk about this today is because everybody's going through something, whether it be relationship problems, financial problems, and so on and so forth. Maybe you're just not, your past traumas, you name it. Like, everybody's going through something. Nobody is perfect. And if you think somebody doesn't have issues going on with themselves, fighting some sort of demon, you're come on, let's be honest. Everybody goes through stuff. I'm going through things, you're going through things, the person sitting next to you is going through things, the person you're talking to at work, the customer, the client is going through things as well. We're all going through something at some point. Okay. And some people don't want to talk about it, and which sucks because we talked about it before. The more you hold stuff in, the worse it actually is, because you have all these pent up emotions. And fellas too, especially fellas, like, we have a hard time talking about our problems and issues like that. That shouldn't be the case. We should be able to talk about our problems to somebody. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your girl, to your wife, to your parents, to a friend, pay somebody. Like, we spend all this money on stupid shit, but yet when it comes to your mental health, the one that's going to help you is going to help you, like, be happier, fulfill yourself, be able to talk about your problems. That's the thing you don't want to spend money on, but you'll go buy some stupid bag that, it's not going to do anything. It's only going to give you gratification when you bought it, took it home, put it on IG. Guess what? I deserve this. A week later, you're right back in the same spot, still fighting those same demons, Buying a car. It's going to be cool for a couple weeks, a month, but then guess what? The demons come right back. Because that was only, it's almost like we're putting Band-Aids on a wound that needs stitches. Like, of course, like any little movement, there goes all the blood, comes all out. Okay. So we need to talk about these things. And that's why I wanted to do this one, because, there's something that I want to talk to you guys about a little bit. Obviously, you guys heard the podcast. A lot of you guys heard the podcast where I mentioned that I was not the father, right? And yeah, in the end, I also mentioned that it sucked that it wasn't, it didn't happen how I wanted it to go. It's a shitty situation. I didn't want to have a kid in that situation. Does that make sense? So I'm glad that didn't happen. But I almost had convinced myself that it was, just because I was like, all these things are lining up. I think it just might be. And so I started preparing myself like mentally, like, oh, this is how I'm going to be. And then when they told me, obviously it wasn't mine. And I was just like, all right, yeah, that's cool. That's, that's what I wanted. But I'm still kind of fucked up by it. You know what I mean? Like, I still think about it. I'm like, fuck, like, that kind of sucks, kind of bummed out. But this is why I wanted to, sit here and talk to you guys about it, just so I can let out what, like, these things people can know, and then eventually somebody can help, I'm not desperate in need for help. I'm just saying it did bug me. It has been bugging me since then, because sometimes I'm like, damn, like, I wish it would have been that way. Like, because in my head, I had already thought, like, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to be, and so on and so forth. I kind of mentioned it to you guys. I almost romanticized the whole situation, but even though it wasn't mine, it still kind of sucked, just because, like I said, I was hoping it was, just because it would have been cool to have a little mini you. Because don't get me wrong, I love kids. I love my nephews, don't get me wrong. But there's no perfect time for anything. So I was like, I even said, no, there's no perfect time for anything. There wasn't going to be a day where I was going to be like, hey, you know what? Like, we should prepare ourselves for a kid or something like that to somebody. No, that's why I said if it happens, it happens. I'll be cool with it. So I think I got overly excited that it was going to happen, but also scared, nervous. I'm telling you, all sorts of stuff. I'm not a dad. So I was excited about it. I was nervous. I was scared about it. I was like, fuck, like, now I got to, figure this shit out. Because that's what I always do. I'm like, now I got to figure this shit out. How I'm going to figure it out, I don't know. But I'll figure it out. So it kind of sucked. That's why I wanted to let you guys know that everybody's always going through something. Everyone's always has some sort of mental health problem, some sort of issues. Nobody is perfect, And so I went through and I researched a bunch of stuff, what you can do to help with mental health, because this doesn't necessarily have to be like my situation. It can be that you're going through your own demons and it's messing you up mentally, and you're figuring out how to cope with this stuff, how to deal with it. But most importantly is talk to somebody. I know it's going to come up on here, talk to somebody. And I think that's one of the best ways, like having human interaction with somebody else. Again, if you don't want to feel comfortable talking to somebody because you feel like they're not going to listen, pay somebody. Yes, some people are like, oh, they're just getting paid, so they have to listen. Of course they're getting paid, so they have to listen. They have to help you now, instead of somebody who's listening for free and might not even do anything, because we've all had where you express something. I've done it before, express something to somebody, and they were just like, oh, you just got to man up. That was basically the conversation. But if I would have went and paid somebody, would have been like, hey, like I'm going through this, this, and this, and this. And they would have been like, all right, Edgar, this is what you need to do, or find out what the bigger issue. You see the difference? That's what I'm saying. It's okay to pay somebody. It's not okay not to be okay. All right. So we're going to get into these. Prioritize self-care. Make self-care a priority in your daily routine. Engage in activities that you enjoy. Promote relaxation, such as taking a walk, reading a book, practicing mindful and meditation, or engaging in a hobby. And this, hopefully you guys can see a pattern when like healing and all this other stuff is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a lot about keeping yourself distracted. And people are like, oh, so just basically, yeah, you just have to distract your mind. Yeah, because when I'm thinking about this or doing this, I'm not thinking about this anymore. The less I think of that, the better it's going to help. So taking walks. Today when I went to go for a run, I'm feeling kind of stressed out because I have to me, it's a big Zoom meeting tomorrow. And, I'm kind of stressed out, kind of like nervous about it. And so today's run helped me as basically like, come on, Edgar, you're a fucking badass. Like, what the hell? What's up with you? You got this, Don't let this make you nervous. All the shit you've done, you haven't, like, choked or, you know what I mean? Like, you run through all these things like, oh, like imposter syndrome, all sorts of stuff. So that run helped me a lot. Now, after that, I was like, hell yeah, I got this. Let's go. Let's work, especially listening to David Goggins, too. That's why I said, like, keeping your mind busy. But everyone can be different. If you guys want to take a walk, I'm not saying run, go for a jog, bike ride. It's nice now. Go rent the scooters and take those around if you don't want to exercise. There's a bunch of different things. Go by the pool, go to a lake and just hang out, relax, distract your mind with something positive. It's weird about something about being outside, how it like helps me a lot. Because I was also like struggling. Like in the morning, I was thinking about that, my whole kid situation. The run fucking helped a lot. I got to listening to the book, running. I was like, what? I got this. I did better time this time. I was just like super motivated. And right after that, I was still motivated. I'm like, you got this, let's kill it today. Let's crush today. So there's always a bunch of different things you can do. But I mentioned before, we always make the bargains with ourselves. Oh no, I'm just too sad right now. Like, I don't want people to see me. No, it's too far. It's too hot. My ankle kind of hurts. No. When are you going to stop making excuses? Like, seriously, when are you going to stop making excuses? Like, this is the message you need to hear. When are you going to stop making excuses? Because all these are excuses to me. That's why I made that shirt that says no excuses. Because if I say I want to do this and anything besides leading me to that, it's just an excuse. Oh, it's because, I had a lot to work. No, okay. This was supposed to be your priority, but you went and did this? Like, why would you go do that? That's not part of the mission. That's not part of the goal. So everything is an excuse to me, if you ask me. So no one ask me for I call people out all the time. I remember this chick, she was talking about she wanted to do lashes. Like, she wanted to do a lash business. And I'm like, all right, what you got to do? And she was like, oh, like, I guess you have to do like some sort of course class and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, why aren't you signed up? Well, it's because I really got to, think about it and see instantly all these excuses. Instead of being like, you know what, you're right, sign up. If it happens, it happens. If not, then fuck it. If it doesn't work out, cool. At least we tried. You know, that's the biggest thing. At least you tried. So we're going to get on to the other one. Sorry, I get like super worked up about some of this stuff. Practice good sleep hygiene. Establish a regular sleep routine and ensure you're getting adequate sleep. Aim for around 7 to 9 hours quality sleep each night, creating a calm sleep environment. Avoid electronic devices before bedtime and limit caffeine intake. So all you coffee drinkers that drink coffee at night, how? Okay, first of all, I don't know how you guys do that. But yes, sleep is a big thing, and sleep is something I've been trying to implement a lot more, and I can feel it when I get more sleep. Right, because I talked about it before. Like in order to produce stuff at a high level, your body has to be at a high level too. You know, you can't just be like, I want to produce stuff at high level, but my body is slacking. You know, no, mind has to be right, body has to be right. That's why I go and get I still have like bruising. I went to go get my blood work checked because last time I went, my thyroid was off. You know, and that explains a lot of things, like why I was feeling like tired and sluggish. And even though like I was getting sleep, eating, you know, decent. And I was like, why am I still so tired? You know, I'm supposed to feel more energy, more stuff. And no, I was just tired. Got my blood work checked, feel fucking amazing. Okay. I'm just telling you that right now. That's why I'm always saying, like, get yourself checked. If you want to produce at a high level, your body has to be at a high level. That's why I like to go and run 3 days a week. Work out 3 days a week. People are like, oh, well, you're going to lose my... Honestly, it's making me feel fucking amazing, okay? Working out 6 days a week wasn't doing it for me. It was repetitive. It's the same shit over and over. Running actually gets me outside. Sun. Thinking. In the gym, you're just thinking about what's next. That's the point that I got to, you know? So I'm not trying to be no bodybuilder. I'm not trying to be like a power lifter or anything like that. I'm just trying to produce content at the highest level. I'm trying to run my business at the highest level, you know? So I need my body at the highest level. And sleep is another reason for that. You know, you also got to sleep because your body needs to rest to recover. Again, there are those nights, especially me right now. I like to wake up early, get my shit done. You have more time during the day instead of like staying up super late, waking up later, sleeping in, and then guess what? Now you have less time during the day. And then guess what do you do the next day too? You stay up late again because you didn't get all the shit that you wanted done. No, you know, shout out to the people. I'm trying to go sleep earlier. Shout out to the people who do sleep a lot earlier, can fall asleep by like 7:30, 8 p.m. I wish it could be me, but they're prioritizing their sleep. There's one, what's his name? Brendan. You know, shout out to Brendan. I don't know if he's gonna listen to this, but he goes to sleep early. And he is in great physical shape. And I'm sure he's producing like what he does at a high level because his sleep is right. His exercising is right. I'm hoping his mind is right. And if it is, then that's why he's been so successful. Okay. If you want to do shit at a high level, your body has to be at a high level too. And so that means go and get your blood work checked. Go and make sure you're okay. Seeing what's off, where you're off, why you're imbalanced. You know, because this is where sometimes people find out that they have low tests, they have thyroid issues, they have all sorts of stuff. And the sooner you can get it fixed, you know, and it's funny because you don't want to invest into your body. Like, you go spend money on stupid shit, but when it comes to your body, you're trying to, oh no, I can't. No. Guess what? Because like if something's not working, it's going to fuck you up even more. Okay. But you're willing to just like, all right, whatever. No, come on now. We need to change that way of thinking, okay? So sleep. Make sure you get some good sleep. Again, I'm trying to. There's some nights where that doesn't happen just because my mind's always going, but I am trying. Stay physically active. Engage in regular exercise as it can positively impact your mental health. Exercise releases endorphins, reduces stress, and improves mood. Find activities you enjoy, whether it's going for yoga, dancing, or sports. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days a week. And see, we were talking about the whole exercising thing, okay? And your regular work does not count as exercising, okay? There's some people, well, I walk a lot. So? That's your job. Your body's going to get used to it. How can you use that as your exercise, as your stress relieving time? Because probably when you're working and if you have to be physically active, it's not the best stress ever, like stress reliever. I'm sure afterwards you're not just like, oh, dang, that was great. I feel motivated. No, you're just like, fuck, I'm getting paid this much to do this. Sometimes that happens. So do not count your work as your exercise. Even if it's just 30 minutes, go for a 30-minute walk, 30-minute jog, a 30-minute bike ride, yoga for 30 minutes. You can do a lot of stuff at home. There is absolutely no reason you shouldn't be working out, being active. Everything else is just an excuse. And what do I always say? Like, no excuses. So anything that you tell me besides, I can't do this, I can't do that. There's a guy at the gym that goes, he only has one arm. And he's he's in there killing it. Instead of like, there's people who, oh, my arm hurts today. Okay, this dude's working out with one arm. What's your excuse now? There's guys in there that I've seen that have the amputated leg. There's just a bunch of excuses. I remember when I went to a convention show, this dude showed up. He didn't have both his legs and his upper body was jacked because he still works out. But people want to make the excuse that they're tired or they like something's going to hurt. And this man has no legs and he's in the gym working out. So there's no excuse, because it does help. Trust me. Like I said earlier, when I went for that run, I felt amazing afterwards. Helped with a lot of stress, anxiety, that nervousness. And again, it's that confidence. Like afterwards, you're like, hell yeah, I fucking hit 6 miles. That's pretty good, I remember when I first started running, I could barely even run a mile. And I was dying after that. And now I'm just regularly running 6-7 miles, like as training as for this half marathon that I want to do again. You know what I mean? Like it's, it's crazy what you can do when you put your mind to something. So stay active. Let's stay active, make it a goal, 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes is not a lot. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Right before you go to bed, 30 minutes is going to get you tired. And then guess what? You're going to be able to sleep better. There's always time to fit 30 minutes. We just want to bargain with ourselves not to do it. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I got so much to do. Trust me, 30 minutes isn't going to take too long. Okay. So you could have been working out. Like this podcast is usually about 30, 40 minutes. The whole time you could have been doing some sort of workout. See, you'd be like, oh shit, I was just sitting around listening to it. And shout out to the people. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm doing like cardio, like hill walking, elliptical, running. I focus more on what's going on, the content, instead of worrying about how much time you've ran. Music only motivates me for a certain amount of time. And then after that, I'm just like, all right, well, like how much do I got? But when you're listening to something that's stimulating your mind, like making you think, focus, time goes by quick and you're just like, oh shit, like, damn, I just ran 6 miles. Of course, throughout that, you do get tired. You got to keep pushing yourself. But, it helps a lot. Like, I can't stress it enough about exercising. All right. And maintain a balanced diet. Eat a nutritious diet that includes a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats. Proper nutrition can support your brain health, overall well-being. Avoid excessive consumption of processed foods, sugary snacks, and caffeine, as they negatively impact your mood and energy levels. And it's funny because some people are like, well, I don't know what the good foods are, or I don't know what's bad or not. You know what's bad or not. Okay. If I put a grilled piece of chicken in front of you and a burger, which one's good? Obviously the grilled chicken, right? Okay. If I put a steak in front of you and then like a quesadilla in front of you, which one's a little bit healthier? The steak. Like, we know how to make smart choices. And I know it's hard to completely go full on, completely healthy, but even when you go out to eat, you can make it work. Example, like if you go somewhere and they have like a steak, get the steak, a side of steamed veggies, maybe a little mashed potatoes, help with those carbs. You can make it work, but instead you get like the appetizer, which is fried. You get this, you get a soda, you drink the whole soda, your constant refills. Instead, just get a water or a diet soda if you need anything that bad. Okay. you can, when I go to, I remember I went to Smitty's. It's a breakfast place around here. And my buddy, he ordered something. And I was like, oh, I'll take the protein omelet, you know, like no cheese, lactose intolerant, and so on and so forth, and nothing but healthy. And he's like, damn. He's like, I need to make some choices like that. Yeah, because it's not hard. A smart choice there will lead to another smart choice and another smart choice. Slowly remove stuff from your diet. This dude removed soda and lost so much weight. Just by removing soda, keeping his eating habits the same. And then slowly you get to a point where you stop losing weight. And then guess what? Now, all right, I'm going to change this. I already, you know, I'm used to the no soda. Now I'm going to change this here, and it's going to help me lose more weight. You know, figure out what you're eating a lot of, you know, and kind of like make proper portions and stuff like that. And then it's not hard. It just, again, we make the excuse of why you can't. You know, I'm making a better healthy choices now, you know, healthy choices compared to, like, I know it's not good and I know it's good. So now I'm making better choices, and I've been seeing it, cutting some weight, seeing more definition come back. And so now I'm like slowly starting to dial it back in, you know, all right, I need to do this, I need to do that, and just changing a few different things. But because I can't be the same one making up excuses all the time. No, like if I talk about it, I got to be about it too. So cultivate healthy relationships. Surround yourself with supportive and positive who contribute to your well-being. Seek out social connections. Engage in meaningful conversations. Maintain healthy boundaries. Distance yourself from toxic or negative relationships that drain your energy. And what does Joe Rogan says? That clip that went viral. It's like, those negative people, you don't want those people around you. They will freaking poison your energy with their negativity. Negative people, gone. Like, I don't care who it is. That's who so-and-so. No. If they're being negative and bringing nothing but negative vibes to you, a bunch of toxic shit to you, that's the wrong person to have around you. Because why? You become the average of the people around you. You know, that's why they would say, surround yourself with positive people, influence people like that are motivated, hustlers, people who are better than you, because that's going to motivate you to become better, you know. And you know, that's why, like, yeah, I cut people off too, my life too, because they were being nothing but negative, toxic, and I don't need that around me. Like, if you're gonna be negative, cool, go be negative someone else. And these people who are on social media every day, they complain about something. Like, why are you complaining all the time? I've rarely seen a post of theirs where they're, oh yeah, this happened. Oh, I'm super excited. You know, I want to do this or something great. Feeding positivity. I like to feed positivity, humor, you name it, all sorts into my feed. That way people can get a laugh, people can get motivated. But some people just post nothing but negative shit or complain about something. They're complaining about everything. And we've seen it too, is that those people who want to complain about something. So, for example, I remember when Game of Thrones was big, everybody was watching it, and then people were like, who else is not watching it? Fuck it. Like, if you don't want to watch it, then cool. You don't have to post it on social media that you ain't watching it. Like, like you just took a few seconds out of your day to complain that you're not watching it. You want to be like considered this group over here that's not watching Game of Thrones, you know, and that goes to a lot of things. Oh, am I the only one that didn't? You could have kept that to yourself. You know what I mean? You could have kept that to yourself. You didn't need to go on social media and tell everybody that you're not watching it. Like, what did it bring you? Nothing. But again, it feeds into that negativity of yourself. We have to realize when, and where we're being negative, you know, because first we have to fix ourselves. We can't fix other people, you know. And the way I fix myself with a whole bunch of negativity is get rid of the people who are negative, because they're not helping. Do you have a friend who complains about everything? Like, holy shit. I'm just like, why are you always complaining? Like, why? I've never heard this come in and be something motivating. Like, you guys have a friend like that? Never add to like the motivating. They're always complaining about something. Something's always bugging them. Something like, oh, I can't believe, like, someone, I can't believe. Stop worrying about other people. Worry about yourself. You know, worry why you're complaining so much. Like, why are you complaining so much? You know, me, I love to feed positivity, humor out there because it makes me feel good, and I'm hoping it makes other people feel good. And I also want the same around me. You know, I want the people who are around me are going to be positive, motivating, you know, better than me. That way I can, it helps me grow. It helps them grow, because at the end of the day, like I said, you become the average of the people around you, you know, so always remember that. All right. Practice stress management techniques. Find healthy ways to manage stress, such as deep breathing, exercising, journaling, engaging in hobbies, or practicing mindfulness meditation. Take breaks when needed, set realistic expectations, learn to say no when you feel overwhelmed. And there's a, you know, I agree with these, but there's a lot of ways to relieve stress, you know. Me, yes, I get stressed out with my business and the amount of work, you know, shout out to all the clients. Y'all keep me busy. I love it, but it is stressful. But I love doing it. You know, I love having that type of stress. I'd rather have the stress where I have way too much work than not enough. You know, that would be a whole different stress, because that's going to lead to other stressful things. Like, shit, now I ain't got money coming in. Now I ain't got, you know, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? You know? So, again, I love it. At first it was a hobby, and now it's like a whole ass business. You know, it's what I do full time. So you just have to find things that help you with your stress. You know, and that can be, I know a lot of people start journaling. Journaling has been a big thing. I haven't tried it yet. People always tell me, because I struggle to sleep at night, but they're like, oh, you should try journaling, writing down your thoughts, and that should help. So I'm going to try to, like, trust me, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do these things, but then I forget, you know, like I'll get and lay down, I'll get on the phone for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like, I'll just lay there, start thinking about a bunch of stuff, and just start thinking about that. I don't even remember that I said I was going to journal. So maybe I should put an alarm saying, like, hey, put a journal next to the bed and have it ring at night, you know, something like that. So I'm going to try to, but there's a bunch of different things you can do. Hobbies, like if you really enjoy drawing, painting, crafts, you know, I know some people love doing crafts. You know, do a little bit more of that you really enjoy, that you really have fun doing, because it's going to help you. You know, it's going to help with stress. Seek professional help if needed. Don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional if you are struggling. They can provide guidance, support, and evidence-based interventions tailored to your needs. Therapy, counseling, medication may be recommended depending on your specific situation. And so, again, we talked about it earlier. A lot of people don't want to pay somebody because they're like, oh, they're just getting paid to listen to you. Exactly. They're getting paid to listen to you. You pay a personal trainer to help you get in shape and teach you what you need to do. You know, you pay these mentors, these classes and stuff like that to show you how to do something, to teach you new ways, to educate you on certain things. You know, people who go to real estate conventions, people who go to photography conventions, people who go to barbering conventions. What are you doing there? You're paying somebody to teach you, you know, the certain things. With a mental health coach, therapy, and you name it, you're paying them to help you. Because people are like, oh, I'll just talk to a friend. Yeah, but sometimes a friend can't help you, or they don't know how to help you. You know, in my situation, like I said, I told somebody how I felt, and they're just like, man, that sucks, man, but you're just man up, bro. Just man up. How did that help? How did it help saying man up? After that, I was just like, all right, cool. I ain't gonna talk to you, you know? So I have the people who I talk to, you know, and a great person to talk to about these things, because all the feedback I get is you guys. You know, talk to you guys. People give me similar situations that they're going through, and they're like, hey, like, this is what I did, this, and so on and so forth, and it helps. And so that's why, it's like, yeah, some people might listen to it and then be like, oh, dang, that sucks. Cool. I'm not saying everybody has to message me, but there are the few who went through something similar, and they're just like, hey, like, this is what happened to me, you know, like, so, like, you know, this is how I help, you know, sorry you have to go through that, it kind of sucks, you know. And I'm just like, dang, that actually, somebody who can relate to my situation, I can talk to them for a little bit about it, and it helps. you know? So always find somebody. And again, you spend money on all sorts of stupid shit. Let's be honest. We all do it. I spend a stupid amount on hats. But that would be bad if I was like still messed up. You know, I mean, we're always messed up. But like, you know what I'm talking about. Like if we're going through something and we really need to talk to somebody, retail therapy is not going to work. Okay. Retail therapy, guess what? You're going to be happy for that moment in time that you're out there shopping, buying stuff, trying stuff on. But what about the next day? What are you going to do then? What about the next day after that? And I know you're not going to retail shop every day unless you got it like that. Okay. Buying a car is not going to do that. Buying something expensive is not going to do that. Going on a luxurious vacation is not going to do anything for you. I mean, of course, it's going to be great at the moment, everything. But the moment you come back, what? Like, the shit comes back. It didn't go anywhere. You just put a little Band-Aid on it. So talk to somebody. That's the biggest thing, is find somebody to talk to. Stop thinking that way when you're like, oh, they're getting paid to listen to me. So why would I go to them? Because they're trained in that area and they want to help you. And yes, they want to be compensated for their time because they got shit to do too. You know what I mean? Like they have a life to live, family to pay. They can't just be out here doing this stuff for free. Come on. You don't do your job for free. So think about it. Talk to somebody. It's going to help. You know, there's plenty of people in your area. Like there's therapists, counselors, any type of support that you need around you. It's all a quick Google search and a quick phone call. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed that you have to call and ask for help, because trust me, like it's better to become better. I'm glad a lot of people are normalizing it, talking to life coaches, talking to counselors, getting into therapy and figuring out their situation, because now that when you look at them, yeah, they're a lot better. Nobody's perfect, but they're making the steps to become better and better. Nobody's ever going to be 100% happy. Okay. So just think about that. Limit your screen time. Excessive screen time, especially on social media, can negatively impact your mental health. Set boundaries and allocate specific times to using electronic devices instead of engaging in activities. Promote connection and engage your mind. So, I mean, this is hard because our phones are right here. Always getting on Snapchat, always getting on Instagram, always getting on TikTok. You see these people going on these luxurious vacations, or they're buying something new, bought a great house, and so on and so forth. But so it makes you, everyone shows you, you've heard it time and time again, but I'll say it again for you guys. Everyone shows you their highlights. Nobody ever shows you their negatives. Nobody's going to be like, oh, yeah, I just bought a new house, but my man's cheating on me. You think they're going to post about you that just sat and cried for like an hour or 2 hours because you found out your man was cheating on you? Like everybody's going through something. Nobody's ever 100% happy. They could post a great video of them smiling, a sexy picture of them, but guess what? Maybe they were in a different room because they just got in a fight with their partner, and now they're over there because they want to get some reassurance from other people on social media. But you don't know what's going on. So you always see them happy. You always see them doing great. You always see nothing but positivity coming from them, So you start to feel like, oh, damn, like my life is kind of boring, or like, why am I only like happy every now and then? Why am I feeling sad or depressed? And because social media can do that for you, because there's nothing but great stuff on there. Of course, there's a little bit of bad and people trying to help. But for the most part, we see these people like... Everyone sees all these girls on a boat. So girls are like, damn, all these girls are partying and having a great time. But they don't see the owner of the boat. Like freaking dude that is old as shit. They're over there like that reason they're on the boat. Pretty sure a lot of these girls that are on that boat didn't pay for it. Didn't rent it out. Because I remember, some girls got it like that. Don't get me wrong. But... I remember this one chick, I saw her like going all doing this, doing that, buying this, buying that. I'm like, I don't think she's doing all that. Yeah, come to find out she's been hooking up with some dude who got money. And then when you look at him, you're like, damn, that dude, no wonder you're with him. Because he got a lot of money. It's not because of his looks, because that dude looks like a freaking turtle. You know? So uh so always just remember there's always something behind your screen. Meaning like there's always everybody's going through some issues. Yeah, everyone's gonna post their happy times, their vacations, the great food they're eating, a great moment in their life. But remember, that's just the moment of their life. Just like yours. I can post a happy picture right now and be like, hey, yo, what's up? And then like say like I'm dealing with something, I could just be like all sad after that, right? But you don't see that. You just saw the happy picture, but you didn't see what happened after or what happened before. So we also have that's why it's healthy if you can separate that too, like knowing that people go through that and stuff. Social media isn't that bad, okay? Because trust me, I get on social and I see it. I'm like, oh, that's dope. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. But in my head, I know for a fact y'all ain't happy because like I know I follow some people who they just say they're going through some issues, and so yeah, they post they're doing great, everything's great and dandy, but I know it's not. You see what I mean? Like just because they're not showing you doesn't mean things aren't happening behind the scenes. They're not happy. Maybe they're not happy in the relationship. Maybe they're a bunch of things going on. You never know, like stress with like something else that's going on with their life. Somebody's sick. Now you have to go to the doctor. Huge medical bills, that you don't know about. Everybody's going through something. So if you're able to separate these two things and know that, yes, I know these people are posting their highlights, and yes, I know it's not always like that. So, always take everything with a grain of salt. But if you have a hard time separating those two, and which a lot of people do, then I think taking some breaks off social media, limit that screen time because it's not healthy. All right. And practice gratitude and positive thinking. Cultivate a positive mindset by focusing on gratitude and practicing positive self-talk. Take time each day to reflect things you are grateful for and challenge negative thoughts by reframing them in more positive and realistic. And I do this all the time too. Like when somebody's talking to me, especially these one-on-ones that I've been doing, we try to take the positives. I know it's hard at the time, especially if you're going through it. But eventually I always like, all right, this is the positive thing that came out of it. I'm glad that happened. It sucks that it had to happen, but this is what I learned from it. And this is what I learned I will not let happen again. And it sucks we have to learn that way. It sucks, that sometimes that's the only way we learn, by something happening to us or something going on, which helps us avoid it in the future. So I love to stay thinking positive, as you can, like when I post like positive messages on our positive quotes, positive mind, like things that I like pop in my mind, because it helps me, and I'm hoping somebody reads it and is like, you know what? Yeah. Because the amount of people who send me the like, oh, hey, like, thank you for motivating me to get out and run, go and work out and do something like that, just because we make so many excuses. And I'd rather it helps me, even if it's just one person that messages me and be like, yo, like you motivate me to get out there, because I'm just a regular guy. I didn't go and buy motivation anywhere. I didn't go and like, you can't purchase, discipline. You can't purchase motivation. It's just something that you have to build within yourself, and this takes every day until it becomes normal. Me grinding all day like this, it's just normal. I've done it for so long. Like, it's just normal. Like when I don't do a lot of shit in one day, then I feel like I haven't done anything, to be honest. And I hate that feeling. And so that's why I'm like, dang, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. Yeah, because I love it. I love doing it. It fulfills me. So a lot of positive thinking. Surround yourself with positive people. We talked about it earlier. You don't need negativity around you. You need someone who's going to think positive, help you with positive thoughts, be positive around you. Every time anybody chats with me, I hope you leave motivated. I hope you leave more positive. I hope that, just anyone, like a client that I talk to, a person, the one-on-ones that I do, just anyone I come in contact with, I hope they get a positive reaction from me. a positive vibe. And, you know, that's why, like, I love, it helps me, you know, with these positive thoughts, positive quotes. It helps me, it motivates me. And then it also helps me and motivates me when it affects other people too. You know, I don't want to be that person and be like, damn, don't be around that dude. That dude's negative shit. You know, the type of people that I avoid, nah, I'm good. You know, I'm like, nah, that dude's like fucking negative all the time. There's, you know, I don't want that around me. It's like, it's almost like some sort of disease. I'm just like, like get that negativity from me. Okay. People are going to think I'm weird. And then finally, take breaks and practice relaxation. Incorporate regular breaks and relaxation into your daily routine. Engage in activities, deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, guided imagery can help calm your mind and reduce stress. So because don't get me wrong, looking at the screen and editing all day, it becomes strenuous on your vision, like just your head. And I need breaks. I take breaks. Don't get me wrong. When you guys see me post these dancing videos, those are fun. I'm taking a break. I'm vibing out to music. I'm jamming out. I'm having a good time. Those are my breaks. And I didn't realize that until like I actually sat there and thought, like, anytime I need to, I'm like, all right, we just knocked out a couple hours of editing, feeling a little stressed out. Like, you know, like staring at the same thing and doing the same thing over and over, like on videos. You're just like, all right, I just need to take a quick breather, take a little break. And what do? Put some music loud as shit, start dancing around, start vibing out. And then afterwards, you're like, all right, I feel great, and right back at it, you know? And so there's different ways to practice relaxation. I just gave you an example, like mine, taking breaks and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be like relaxing, meditating, just something that where you feel like you got a break. And me, it's like when I start vibing out, like, yeah, I don't record everything. Sometimes I'm just like listening to music, like vibing out, singing along to the song, jamming out to the song, and just walking back and forth right here in my studio. That's a break for me, you know? And then I'll see like, oh shit, like I'll start cleaning up here a little bit. That's a break for me because I feel better when everything is a little bit cleaner while I'm jamming out to music, you know, nobody's telling me what to do, like, you know? So, and sometimes my break can last like 45 minutes because I'm just, all of a sudden I catch myself fucking cleaning everything, you know, like moving this here, moving that there. But it all helps. So there's a bunch of things you can do. Hopefully, like, again, if you're going through it right now, if you need help with something, there's always somebody to talk to. There's always somebody to talk to. The worst thing you can do is not talk to somebody. I think that's the worst thing you can do because we've seen it. People end up hurting themselves. People end up just like blowing up, meaning like they just, it becomes so much that they can't handle it. And the next thing that triggers them, they just go off, you know, whatever the case may be. And let's not get to that point. You know, let's start help. When you know you're going through some issues, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Everyone's going through something. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The next person is not perfect. But what we can do is start making the necessary steps to become better. Okay. And hopefully this podcast motivated you guys to either seek some sort of help, reach out to somebody, get motivated to start a business. I know we talked about that in the beginning, or left you on a positive note, left you motivated, because that's what I like, you know, and that's what I am hoping to do with some of these podcasts. You know, obviously we talk about other stuff and we can be humorous, we can be funny, then we're serious at the same time, because that's me. I know I can joke around, I'll be funny, mess around, say some witty stuff, but I know when to be serious too. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for listening again. Definitely every Monday I'm trying to get a new episode for you guys, so check it out every Monday. And if you can, please rate us 5-star, you know, leave us a thumbs up, whatever the case may be. And again, thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like the merry-go. Stand for truth, or fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio. Cause it's the company you keep. Stay woke.